Level 2, Introduction to Turning. Skiing assessment. These students can walk, climb, traverse, glide, turn, and stop across the fall line in balance. Outcome. Students link round, open turns, and turn to a stop. They can use a beginner lift and show control on gentle beginner terrain. Objective 1. Learn to skate on skis. Learning terrain. Flats or a gentle slope. Safety tactic. Coach students to keep an eye out for other skiers and riders around them. Movement priorities. Step from inside edge to inside edge. Develop edge angles to push off laterally. Emphasize the action of the foot tipping and the skis onto an edge. Teaching note. Students need to see and understand the importance of foot-to-foot balance before progressing to the next task. Learning activities. Static with skis off. Duck walk with a focus on balancing over each arch. With skis on. Do a duck walk facing uphill with skis in a V shape. Take one step uphill on the inside edges, then step in place maintaining the V shape. Rock hopping. Practice external rotation of the femurs. Push and pull the feet underneath a stable pelvis for balance and propulsion. Sidestep uphill while traversing. Simple. Repeat the duck walk, but move forward with each step. Focus on pushing forward with a glide similar to inline skating and ice skating. In a straight run, alternate lifting the leg, left and right skis. Complex. Step laterally from a straight run, repeating on both sides, glide, step out, and glide, skate. Keys to learning. Cognitive. Look to enhance the student's ability to move foot to foot. The skier should flatten the ski to glide, tip the foot to grip, and push off, glide, grip, push. Effective. Help your students experience and enjoy the confidence of skate around the beginner area. Physical. Teach students to push and pull their feet underneath a stable pelvis for dynamic balance and propulsion. As students become more comfortable, they can swing the arms to add fluidity and to help the upper body forward. Objective 2. Link turns at will. Learning terrain. Gentle, beginner terrain. Safety tactics. Focus on completing turns for speed control. Movement priorities. Use a smaller wedge to turn. Focus on turning both legs, femurs, in the same direction. Highlight flattening the inside of the ski to release it and initiate a new turn. Teaching note. To install positive skill development, students need to develop ownership of their movements. Learning activities. Static, with skis off. Walk and shuffle in a figure 8. Focus on inside foot direction and placement. With skis on, exaggerate a bow-legged stance and start parallel open wedge turns. Steer the skis down the hill into the fall line and across the hill to control speed or stop. Repeat those. Simple. Turn to a stop in both directions. Point the arrow. Perform garlands with parallel skis and an open wedge. Explore a smooth transition of weight distribution from standing on 2 skis to having slightly more weight on the outside ski. Moving on to complex. Ski around obstacles. Cadence turns. 100 steps. Balance on the outside ski while tapping the inside ski. Skate. Keys to learning. Cognitive. Students need to understand how and why Lincoln turns provide speed control. Effective. Skiing in control down the slope is a tremendous confidence builder. Encourage a smooth transition of balance from standing on 2 skis equally to having slightly more weight on the outside ski. Objective 3. Use turn shape to manage speed and direction relative to terrain. Learning terrain. Steeper beginner slope. Safety tactics. Coach students to watch for changes in terrain and adjust their turn shape accordingly. Movement priorities. Flatten the downhill ski, allowing the center of mass to move over the ski. Steer the skis progressively to shape the turns and vary their size. Maintain a functional stance by staying balanced over the arches of the feet. Move the upper body actively to counterbalance movements in the lower body. Tip the inside leg to assist outside leg tipping, which helps tighten the turn shape. Teaching note. Explore all of the learning modalities, thinking, watching, feeling, and doing to assist with retention and recall. Learning activities. Static. Review the effects of turn shape on speed control and direction. Simple. Steer the skis smoothly into rounder shaped turns. Steer down the fall line from a traverse as with the start of garland. Cadence turns. Complex. Explore turn shape and their effect on speed. Ski around obstacles. Bouncers. 100 steps. Keys to learning. Cognitive. Create the awareness that pressure develops slowly on the outside ski in longer turns. Excuse me. Effective. Use terrain to set up some challenges to help develop the skier's decision making for speed control. Physical. Connect the rhythm of flexing and extending with the shapes of the turns. Use patience turns to show how a slower rhythm can round out turns. Objective 4. Learn to perform a braking wedge. Learning terrain. Flat part of the beginner area. Safety tactics. Caution skiers to be aware of their surroundings as they come to a stop. Movement priorities. Ski tips on their edges as they move apart. Keep the center of mass over, not behind the feet as the wedge widens. Increase leg turning, rotational control as the size of the wedges increases. Teaching note, with students to come up with cues, words, or mantra that will help them move towards a defined task or goal. This promotes unconscious competence. Learning activities. Static. With skis off, turn both legs so that the feet enter the wedge position. Play the changing of the edge angles by widening the stance. Simple. With skis on, widen the wedge quickly, slowly, and with a hop. Focus on maintaining the center of mass over the feet in all maneuvers. Complex. With skis on, push off in a straight run on a flat terrain and turn the toes or tips together to create a wedge with enough friction to stop. Review that the wedge is great for turning and not so great for stopping. Discuss how much energy it takes to stop in this way versus using turn shape to come to a stop. Discuss how skiers can only create minimal edge angles without moving the center of mass aft. Review the importance of a centered, balanced stance and why it makes it easier to make proactive movements versus braced, defensive movements. Keys to learning. Cognitive. Make sure students understand that skis must tip on corresponding edges to avoid braking or to aid in braking. Effective. Anticipate for plan for all, set up for problem areas. Students will feel more secure in tighter areas and around more people if they have the tools to control their speed instantly. Physical. Students to learn to use width of stance and turning movements of their feet and legs to adjust the amount of edge and size of the wedge needed to slow down. Objective 5. Learn how to ride a chairlift. Learning terrain. Beginner chairlift. Safety tactics. Make sure students can handle the terrain serviced by the chairlift before going up. Have the class observe skiers and riders loading the lift and practice appropriate etiquette and movement before actually loading the lift. Go over unloading procedures and where the class should assemble at the top of the lift. Let the lift operator know this is the first time for the class and have him or her slow down the lift if necessary and if possible, if available, lower the chair bar. Caution students to be aware of loose clothing and equipment and inform them that if they drop an item while on the lift, they should simply note the corresponding tower number and ask the lift operator at the top to send it up with a subsequent group. Lift loading procedures. Hold both poles in one hand when entering the lift line. Stop at the wait line, waiting for the oncoming chair to go around the bull wheel. Follow the chair in front of you, shuffling your skis to load line, and stopping